of our dear viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, to all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, Facebook and YouTube, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb, get your pen, get your paper, get your phone so you could store numbers, you could take notes that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Nicholas Rupnarayan, on behalf of our team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a terrific Tuesday. It's Tuesday, the 9th of May, 2023. It is a day and time we will never have the opportunity to ever have again in life. That's how important this day is, this moment is. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo, and it says, "Blessed is the person who understands that the reason for praying is not to have all he wants, but to thank God for all he has given." Now that's something for us all to think about. Gratitude, being grateful, being thankful to God, not always asking, but saying thank you for all that we do have. Thank you so much. And I want to say a very good morning and a warm welcome to the management and staff of the healthiest corner on earth. They are located at 92 East Drive, Chanflair. Telephone contact 7363962 2785102. So again, to the management and staff. Mr. Director, can you get us please? To the management and staff of the healthiest corner on earth. They are located at 92 East Drive, Chanflair, 7363962 2785102. Take the numbers down, because after today you're never going to be the same, because today it's all about health and you. Health Talk with Mr. Aloy Johnson. Mr. Johnson, good morning, sir, and a very warm welcome.
Thank you for having me, Zelis. Say good morning to you. How are you doing?
I am great, thanks. In your presence, you can't help but be great.
Thank you. That's good. That's a beautiful thing. I like that. That just reverberates and lifts my spirit even more. I'm so happy to be here. I love the ambience. I love the spirit. I love the vibe I'm feeling. I just love it all.
Well, I'll tell you, you've got listening to you on radio and now having the opportunity to sit with you one-on-one. I've got to tell you, when I first met you, I mean, I'd listened to you. My father adores you, as I was saying to you. But when I had the opportunity to meet you, you have this energy that flows, this beautiful personality, one that's simply irresistible, but more importantly, what is important, one that is approachable. And I think that is important when you're talking about health. When you have, yes, you have great knowledge, you have experience, you've been doing this for quite a while, you've been helping people, you continue to do your research, but what is important is that you're a God-fearing man as well.
Thank you.
So
absolutely.
When God speaks to you, you certainly follow, yes?
Absolutely.
So it is our blessing, it is our privilege to be having this time with you this morning, so you could continue to share your wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to health.
Well, I thank you again so much. That was a beautiful thing to say, and I embrace it all. I reciprocate it. It just reverberating. Thank you, and it's a beautiful thing to be in your presence as well. You have great energy, and it's just so real, and I think it transcends, because it's the same thing with your dad. I had an opportunity to meet your dad. It's hard not to love that man. It truly is. I mean, from my perspective, it's hard. There aren't no gray area with this brother. I mean, it's either you like him or not. But his energy is beautiful. I love him.
Thank you for that, and thank you for you know, reaching out and really helping transform and getting him back on track as well.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine.
Mr. Johnson, this is going to be the first of many other series that we're going to have
Sure.
talks with you regarding health talk. We're talking health. We're talking about a country, our citizens are facing many problems. And I think on top of the list, a lot of us are facing poor health.
Absolutely.
Whether we want to accept it or not, poor health, we're bombarded. Our institutions, our health institutions are burdened.
Yep.
Okay? And I think we also have a certain amount of duty and responsibility towards ourselves. I always say, if you cannot love you and you cannot take care of you first and your health first, how can you love your loved ones or take care of them?
It's just never going to happen. And that is so true. But Zelis, you see, I'm one of those persons that I'm very vocal, I'm very matter of fact sometimes, and I will admit on this platform that I sometimes come across very, or could come across as boisterous and sometimes even arrogant. I would admit all that. But within all that is this passion that I have for wanting everyone to pay attention to their health.
Yeah.
It's and one of the things that I try to teach, because the life you live is the life you teach. That's just my motto. And I'm not talking from a place of reverent here, because I'm a man. I heard many things in life. I self-sabotage. So I'm not talking from that perspective.
Right.
I am real. What I am doing is, my mantra is to serve. This is what I do, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of being a child of my Creator and being prepared to serve for my people who perish by lack of knowledge. And as it pertains to our health, this knowledge is lacked. There's a fundamental disconnect between what we do, how we live, and what we eat. And that is the truth. And again, we have I don't even want to make this a political stuff, but it's hard for me to explain myself without bringing certain things into the mix. We have a government that does not support our farmers here.
Right.
And because of that, there's a bunch there are a bunch of processed foods that continuously comes into our country. We pay tons and tons and tons, millions and millions of dollars to bring processed foods into our country that does nothing for us.
Wow, you're preaching this morning. First, I want to go to a point that you've raised. Number one is ignorance. Ignorance in the sense of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. So you spoke about that. You spoke about culture. And then you talk about health.
Right.
It is within us, in our culture. We are foodies. We love food. You get up in the morning, we're bombarded with food around us.
Correct.
You get up in the morning, you can't help that every other place is a vendor selling doubles, aloo pie,
Correct.
baked pie, and roti, things that even when we start our day, we start on an unhealthy choice.
Absolutely.
Right? You talk about lack of the authorities investing in our farmers to inculcate with regards to empower them with growing our own food.
Right.
Import bills being hard. So it's a win-win when we take our farmers, we invest in them and we invest in the right food to make it affordable.
Right.
When you go to the supermarkets, what are the cheaper items? Pasta, rice, and these are the things that you're going to find.
Correct.
It's affordable for the people because we're catching our tail as it is already. We have a lot of financial problems. So obviously you're going to choose the cheaper things
Of course.
that is not healthy.
Naturally,
for us.
exactly.
Great. So you're talking about a lot of things here
Right.
this morning that relating to us as the citizens straight away.
Straight up. And you know what too? I don't think the food manufacturers' intention is to kill us, but they really don't care if we die. Their mantra again is profit, and whatever it takes to get that profit, they will do that. And I don't see how caring about the health of the public comes into that mix. This is the point I'm trying to make. And again, I hold this very dear to my heart. If we, especially with someone like me, if we are cognizant and understand what we eat and how it destroys, how this deleterious effect on our well-being transcends throughout our life, we will make better choices. When you walk into the supermarket, right? First of all, I'll tell you this one time, I don't like supermarket. I resent it.
Yeah.
I truly don't. I buy my stuff from the guy in the corner, provision, or I go to the market.
Yeah.
Very rare would you see me in a supermarket. But if you do, I'm heading straight to the meat section to see if I can get some nice local grass-fed meat. If it's not there, it's a U-turn back out the road. Again, the things that are presented to us, let me give you an idea. Dangerously dangerous. Vegetable seed oil. Zelis, there aren't no such thing about vegetable seed oil, but it permeates, it saturates the supermarket shelf. You walk inside there and you see all these vegetable seed oil, none of which is good for us. Not one. The only oil that is good for us, coconut oil, avocado oil, or you cook with ghee. Period. That's not even up, ghee. That's not even up for debate. But here it is. The deception of the food manufacturers. They would have, let's say, soybean oil for an example.
Yeah.
And they would put a nice little heart on it and says heart friendly, or canola oil, cholesterol free. I mean, they need to stop all that deceptive nonsense. Everything about that oil. You know where that oil come from? That oil is Procter & Gamble. Years ago, Procter & Gamble, go to the Ford Motor Company. You think I'm kidding? Go and research it, you'll see. Go to the Ford Motor Companies. Instead of them throw away that oil, oh yeah, that goes into a factory. They nice it up, it's refined, they perfume it up, and they do all this nice stuff, and then it's in the store. Tell me what vegetable.
It's killing us.
Of course it's killing us.
And our children.
Yes.
At a younger age.
Absolutely. And you're looking at inflammation. Inflammation. Look, again, fried foods. Fried food is in our culture. It's in our culture. It's our cultural ethos. We love our fried food. But we could do our fried food with coconut oil, avocado oil, or we use our ghee. We could do that. But here what we do, we run to the fast food store, heterocyclic amines, acrylamides, inflammation, and mucus in our body, and we go blissfully unaware every single day. And you know what is the sad thing about this? To all the folks out there, you know what's the sad thing about this? And you guys who are looking at me now, you'll sense the passion, because I spent my time, I immerse myself into research. I read a lot of peer-reviewed papers. I do a lot of meta-analysis research. Look at you know what's the macro? You know what is the macro? The macro of all this, walk into any health center, just randomly. Tobago has 22. I am not sure how much is in Trinidad. Walk into any health center and you'll see how many sick people just sit there waiting. Here's the sad thing about this. In many cases, we believe that we can eat whatever we want, however we want, and think after that we can just pray it away. That's the sad thing.
Good. This is the program Conversations with Zelisa. I am in conversation with Mr. Aloy Johnson. He's a health specialist. Today he's just we're talking about health, a general topic. And of course, I just want to take the numbers down. Our program is coming to us with the kind compliments of the healthiest corner on earth, located 92 East Drive, Charfleur. Telephone contact 736-3962 278-5102. When return, he's going to define what is inflammation. We'll take it from there. Stay with us.
A unique place to visit for all Mother's Day shopping. The Mid-Center Mall Flea Market at the air-conditioned dome is now open until May 30th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Big bargains, local and international exhibitors, safe and secured parking. Air-conditioned dome Mid-Center Mall Flea Market opens 7 days a week until May 30th.
We've got great news! New containers just arrived. Fab India Expo is now extended until May 30th. Shop for Mother's Day and Indian Arrival Day. Be sure to check our Indian food court and arcade. We've got a wide range of antique, modern, Italian and Malaysian furniture available. You can also check us out for fashionable Bollywood style garments. All at Fab India Expo, opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Super quality supermarket, best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Shogunas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trinity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Welcome to OATS, Optimal Alternative Treatment Solutions Limited, the future of healthcare, which provides full body scans which we detect and treat cancer, tumors, all heart conditions, cysts, fibroids, dementia, Parkinson's, just to name a few. No radiation and medication is not needed. If you are tired of getting no results, call us at 354-4459 or 356-7226.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. Our program this morning coming to us with the kind compliments of the healthiest corner on earth. They are located 92 East Drive, Charfleur. Telephone 7363962. Write it down, store it as Mr. Aloy Johnson, Mr. Johnson, or 278-5102. Now, it's on the bottom of the television screen, but for those who are listening on radio, you're driving, you're at work, let me repeat the number again: 7363962, 278-5102. Now, the consultation is absolutely free. Mr. Johnson will sit on you one-on-one, have that conversation with you, and then, of course, advise you accordingly with regards to, you know, whatever health concern you may be experiencing or you're having. Welcome back, Mr. Johnson. Now, you've been preaching to us this morning, especially when it comes to our health. And poor health really is unhappiness, disenchantment. Even the people around you are going to suffer when you experience poor health. So if you really care about the people, or you love the people that are around you, and that is your family, that is, you know, you will always ensure that when it comes to your health, it's ultimate in health. All right, you've got to make that choice to make that change. Mr. Johnson, you've been talking to us about a lot of things. One of the things I'd like you to define, so people will understand exactly what is inflammation and what does it do to us? How can it destroy us?
You know, in allopathic reductionistic medicine, you always hear doctors use the word titis. You always hear this word tis. Anytime you hear that word, it's inflammation. Inflammation of the body is absolutely, you notice sometimes when you get a cut, right? There is this yellow inflammation, that part that dry on the scalp, right? But that's good. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because in that way, the body starts healing itself.
Right.
We are talking about an inflammation that is caused by something that the body literally does not want.
Right.
And in order for it to protect itself, it get inflamed to warn you. That type of inflammation, that is to warn you. If you have a bounce on your foot, then a couple of things take place, right? In the acute stages, this is what happened. For let's say 3 to 4 days, there's a hit. Let's say you stump your toe, right? Lactic acid will go to the area, and this is the body intelligence in telling you, ease up on me a little bit. So the lactic acid go, and when the lactic acid go, if it's not been taken care of, the inflammation now start following. This fluid in the body, and that's the body way, in many ways, to protect itself. However, if you do not take care of that particular inflammation, you have problems.
Okay.
Because now it starts taking over the body, and that becomes a problem. In the acute stages, you can treat a bounce, a wound with ice. It's good to use ice. Long ago, I sure you can recall where our parents will, let's say we hit our foot on a piece of iron outside or a piece of log, and they use Iodex. That was the wrong thing to do, but they didn't know any better. Yeah, that was because that's heat. They're using heat on an acute injury, which is not very smart. An acute injury wants ice. What you want is for it not to swell.
Okay, so immediately use some ice.
You immediately use some ice. So you keep oxygen and the blood vessel, those capillaries, fresh while the blood keep pumping, because the moment that stops, lactic acid, then inflammation. And again, it's the body temple way of warning you, ease up from me a little bit, but if it's not taken care of, it could be catastrophic. So we get that from food. We eat stupid food. We eat food that is not congruent to our genome, and our body resisting this very food. We wake up in the morning, our joints hurt, everywhere hurt like crazy. Yeah, and it will take you about maybe, for some people, half an hour to an hour before you could actually walk and the pain slowly dissipate. That's because now blood start going to the area and the inflammation moving out. But it's still in your body. But the body is such a marvelous thing, and this is how it operates. But when you continue to disrespect the complexity of the body, you will pay for it in many, many ways. And that's one of the things that I try to do from the healthiest corner on earth. Zelis said, the best doctor in the room, my dear, is your own body. The best doctor in the room.
And that's being honest, because if we don't take responsibility and we don't consciously make the changes and take the advice and apply it, then how can we heal? How can we be fixed?
We can't. We can't. So for me, what I do, and the reason I offer at my office a free consultation, is so that I can sit and listen to a person, client, or patient, however that description may sound or fit to some people, and have them articulating their position to me. From that, I can impute that this is what is happening with you. This is why you're in this particular situation. Because look, hear what I do know for sure. For sure. The chronic state that we are in today, let me just preface this before, let me go back a little bit. This is the passion and the knowledge that's in my head. Homo sapien, 300,000 years of Homo sapien on the face of this earth that started in Africa. This is the sickest we have been right now. The sickest we have ever been in history. What is going on here? It is directly related to the foods we eat. There aren't no maybe but if no ands about that. Let's go back again. 60, 70 years ago, a lot of people was dying from heart issues, right? Now, the allopathic fraternity come up and they come up with this stuff that, look, hey, you guys, this is not arteriosclerosis, cholesterol. Cholesterol is killing us, and we need to lower cholesterol and all this and all that, and they come up with all this stuff because when they look at the blockage from your aorta or ventricular, they look at this and little matters of cholesterol and other matters that are, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a clinician, what I do is have a fundamental understanding of how the body operates with nutrition. That I'm good at. I'm not afraid of that. But they come up with these things 70 years ago that we need to start lowering cholesterol. Well, Zelis, they've been doing that. We still have people with high cholesterol. So is cholesterol really the problem? No. That is not the issue. It was a sensible thing to do. It was a very sensible thing to do if you think that was the situation. So you come and you jump into action and you use certain medication to lower cholesterol. Well, that's not working because cholesterol is not the problem. It is not the problem. Cholesterol is our friend. But that it is our friend. So I'm telling you, I take my gloves off when I say this. I take the gloves off when I tell you this, that your cholesterol is not VLDL, LDL, and HDL is not inherently your problem, because nothing is inherently bad with that.
So what is the problem?
I like that. I like that. Free radicals. Heterocyclic all these fat that flow through our blood. Triglycerides. Listen, triglycerides number is supposed to be 148. Most people that are walking around here, Trinidad and Tobago, by extension the world, triglycerides is catastrophic. 400 and 500. That is the fatty tissues in the blood. Why are you blaming cholesterol, which is our friend? Cholesterol go and lay the bandage down when you have a oxidized problem in your veins and it's bleeding inside. Cholesterol run to your rescue. Cholesterol is a lipid. It's hydrophilic. It goes to every single cell in the human body because we need it. That's the way our creator created us. You know, our liver makes it. Pay attention to triglycerides. Pay attention to free radicals. Pay attention to high uric acid. Pay attention to that and give cholesterol a break. I beg of you, please, because that is not our problem. If that was the problem, it would have been solved 70 years ago. Well, here what happened again. We have the most gyms in history. No. We have the most health advice in history. No. We have, everywhere you go, you can hear someone giving an advice, including myself, as it pertains to health. Yet we are sicker than ever on the face of this earth. Ever in history, there has never been Homo sapien that are sick as we are today, this history, where parents are burying the kids from metabolic diseases.
Parents, you're correct.
What is going on?
Parents are burying their kids. You know, we've got babies in the womb with diabetes.
Absolutely.
You know, it's alarming.
And
people are dying, cancers, you know, left, right, and center. I can't point to anyone that could say, oh, I don't know somebody who passed of cancer or suffering from high diabetes or, like you say, hypertension and things like that. And it's happening with our children.
Absolutely. From the womb, because we introduce ultra-processed foods to our children in the womb. They don't even have a chance. Ultra-processed food. We have a responsibility to do that, and we're walking around hitting our chest and thinking other things are pandemic and all these nonsense, in my view, in my not so humble view, and the things that you need to take care of. Look, Zelis, cancer kills 1,700 people every single day. The data is there to show.
It's there.
It's there to show every day. What is going on? It's the food we eat.
The food we eat. This is the program Conversations with Zelisa, in conversation with Mr. Aloy Johnson. He's a health specialist, reaching out, informing us, educating us, empowering us about the choices that we make. We are in control. We have the buying power. We are responsible for the health of our children and grandchildren simply by what we purchase, what we put in that pot, and what we put on that table, what we put in the lunch kits of our children.
Correct.
We make that choice every day. Are we killing our loved ones? Something for us all to think about. when we return. Reminding you, our program coming to us with the kind compliments of the healthiest corner on earth. If you would like to meet Mr. Johnson, make an appointment to meet with him to get your health on track. Office located 92 East Drive, Charfleur. Telephone contact 736-3962. That's 736-3962 or 278-5102. 278-5102. Let's go to these messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with Mr. Johnson, health specialist. Stay with us.
A unique place to visit for all Mother's Day shopping. The Mid-Center Mall Flea Market at the air-conditioned dome is now open until May 30th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Big bargains, local and international exhibitors, safe and secured parking. Air-conditioned dome Mid-Center Mall Flea Market opens 7 days a week until May 30th.
We've got great news! New containers just arrived. Fab Expo is now extended until May 30th. Shop for Mother's Day and Indian Arrival Day. Be sure to check our Indian food court and arcade. We've got a wide range of antique, modern, Italian and Malaysian furniture available. You can also check us out for fashionable Bollywood style garments. All at Fab Expo, opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074. 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Before you choose a life of crime, know that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are fed up of you. More than 22,000 have already provided anonymous tips to Crime Stoppers, leading to countless arrests and convictions. You will never know who they are, but with Crime Stoppers' anonymous tipster system, everyone will soon know you. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 800-TIPS today.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. In conversation with Mr. Aloy Johnson. He's a health specialist. If you would like to make an appointment to meet with him regarding your health, getting your health back on track, advising you, please feel free to call him at 736-3962, 278-5102. Of course, office located 792 East Drive, Charfleur, and of course it's the healthiest corner on earth. I love that name, the healthiest corner on earth. It's really catchy and nice, and it sticks and stays. I want now to give you the opportunity, our loyal viewers, listeners, near and far, if you may have any questions, if you may have any concerns regarding your health, there's something you would like to ask Mr. Johnson, then you're free to call in at 3847-142, 3847-142. A gentle reminder when you call, if you're looking at us on television, take the volume down on your TV, then call. If you're listening on radio, take the volume down on your radio, then call. So we don't have that delay and feedback, all right? So 3847-142, you could send your WhatsApp messages, or you can call and speak to Mr. Johnson one-on-one. If you may have any questions, any concerns regarding any health condition you're experiencing, he will be more than happy to guide you accordingly. Just remember to take the volume down. Let's go to our telephone line. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
But I'm calling in connection with people advise you about meat and cancer. What advice can you give someone who has cancer in terms of participating with meat?
With meat?
Meat.
All right.
Meat.
So are you listening on radio or are you looking on television?
No, I am outside. I'm not around no television.
All right, no, great. Then you're listening. I want you to listen because Mr. Johnson will respond now. Have a great day. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Johnson, meat and cancer. What do you say?
Right, and that's a great question.
It is actually.
It is a great question. A lot of times when people has cancer, they are advised, well, stay away from meat. Well, why? First of all, the question will be, you got cancer because this is what you are told, right? This is not what Mr. Johnson, aka RJ, is saying. Because my research shows something absolutely different.
Okay.
And to me, which cancer is a $63 billion a year industry. And when I say that, you know what I mean. Again, when I talk these things, I take the gloves off. I want my people to understand the world we live in. I don't know everything, but here what I do. I bring this perspective to you, and it's up to you because I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm here to convey. So they tell you every day, you inherit a gene from your parents. That is why you get cancer. And they will tell you that all the time because they're priming you for drugs in a particular road you are to walk. No. There aren't no genes that related to cancer. There's no such thing.
Okay.
There is a metallation process where your body inability to refine raw materials is not there, and that in itself manifests itself into a particular disease. Once you have grass-fed meat and you are eating proper with a great diet, meat is not a problem for cancer. I don't know where they get that from, that thinking if you eat meat, it feeds the cancer.
So you're speaking about, you talked to us about grass-fed meat. Are you talking about organic with regards to what the animal is taking in?
Right. Yes, that is what I'm talking
good.
about. Yes, because here what? There are some animals
that are fed antibiotics and are fed things that are fillers, that where you see perhaps our young daughters are developing breasts earlier than, you understand what I'm saying?
So you get it.
And so obviously things that reason for concern. So I think it's a very valid question that this gentleman asked with regards to, and I like that you defined with regards to the difference with having fed out of chemicals as opposed to organic.
Right.
Great.
Let's talk about what caused a cell to all of a sudden just start going out of control. What caused that to happen? It happened because of the type of foods we eat in. Again, too much sugar, too much acidosis in the body.
Yeah.
Here now, Zelisa, here's the deal. I get goosebumps when I talk about this, right?
Yeah.
These two things I'm going to talk about here. So for the gentleman, meat is not a problem once it's grass-fed. Prepare your meat properly. The problem is how the meat is being prepared. Leave Maggie and them stuff alone. Leave MSG out of your food and vegetable seed oil. Cook with coconut oil, avocado oil, or you cook with ghee. As a matter of fact, ghee trump the list. You could put whatever heat you want. Ghee will maintain its fat, and it's very healthy to cook with. Tell anybody RJ said that. They want to shift that narrative. Tell them I'm waiting on them to shift that narrative. The ghee is boss to cook with. Here what give me goosebumps, Zelisa. When we were created, we created with a pH balance, and the word pH acronym, potential hydrogen. We create with this balance of 1 to 14. This is our body alkalinic properties, right? 7 being neutral. We're supposed to be at 7.45 or 7.55. This is where we're supposed to be. All of a sudden, the type of food we eat, we start minusing. And the more acid the body gets, the more dangerous it becomes for metabolic disease, right? So the body fights every day to stay in that homeostasis balance where the alkalinic properties supposed to be great for us. The body fight every day to stay there. But it cannot do it alone if it doesn't have the raw materials. Here's the other frightening part. The human body is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. No, that would be Celsius, right? Okay. Zelisa, my darling, if we go below 94, nearer my God to thee, we dead. If our body goes too much below 94, that's it.
Right.
If it go too much above 104, that's it. And every day our body fight to stay with those two balance. This delicate balance that we take for granted by eating all kind of crazy food, disrespecting the body temple, the complexity of the body temple. And again, let me preface it by saying, we do all this and just think that we can pray it away. Where did we get that from?
I love that because it's the truth.
Yeah.
You can't kneel down and ask God to pray away your poor health. You can't. You have to get up and make the changes.
Correct.
Like you say. You have to be responsible for what you put into your body.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Simple.
Have some kind of discipline and do things in moderation as well.
Yeah.
And again, it is what we feed our children.
Yes.
The choices that we make. They don't acquire the tastes for themselves. So when your child is 5 and 6 and you're giving them beans and they're spitting it out, it's because they haven't had it at a young age to acquire the taste.
Well said.
Give them some spinach, give them some, give them things at a young age so they acquire the taste and they like it. And it's healthy.
And it's very healthy. And is it by chance that one of the most addictive substance is in everything that we eat, which is sugar? And again, sugar is not the Antichrist. Let me just make this totally clear. I want people to understand it. Sugar is not the Antichrist.
Well, we've been told differently.
And and I'm going to walk you through this. The word DNA, everybody knows DNA. If you hear the word DNA, a bell go off because we know it's associated with our body. DNA, acronym deoxyribonucleic acid. The word ribose is sugar. Our very DNA is made up of sugar. We couldn't blink if sugar wasn't in our DNA. The problem is, what type of sugar, how much are we eating, and do we have enough minerals, raw materials in our body to metabolize that sugar?
That's our problem. We have? What sugar should we have?
We should stay away, period, from refined sugars and refined carbohydrates.
Away.
Away, clean. And here what we think. We think it's just sugar. Brown sugar. First of all, white sugar is pure poison. But
you heard that? Pure poison.
Pure
Keep
poison.
away. Right.
Yeah. Stay away from white sugar. That is granulated sugar, pure poison. But for some reason, magic in our minds, we believe it's just sugar. No, it comes from what we eat. It comes when we eat. Every single thing that we eat, there is this beautiful mechanism in our body. And I myself don't understand, no matter how much research I would have done, I don't understand how this happened. When we eat, our pancreas, the beta cell, releases this hormone called insulin. And I guess insulin now moves the glucose from out the blood and it parks it in the cell. There is not a single cell in the human body that does not have an insulin receptor though. Not one.
Okay.
Not one. So it's influenced by that, right? So the point is, we eat too much, too regular, and we eat in a fat state. So at the end, that is how diabetes was born. Anybody, I want you guys to listen to me out there, the audience, the listening audience, anyone that is suffering with diabetes now, hear what the deal is. This may sound harsh, but the truth is, you earned it. You bought it wholesale. You have a certified copy for it. You know why? Diabetes will take 10, 15, or 20 years to manifest itself into a body that eventually resists the very insulin that is there to help you. And for some people, hear what they believe, and allopathic, that your elevated blood sugar is your problem. Your elevated blood sugar is never your problem. Your elevated blood sugar is an indication of your problem, which is insulinemia, high insulin resistance that your body resists.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't know if I heard the presenter call the degrees of the body correct just now there. I think in Celsius is like 34. And once you reach 98 and things, that is Fahrenheit. I don't know if I heard correctly.
Okay, we'll just have him to readdress it. You too as well, sir. Thank you. Perhaps next week we could... I've got one of our loyal viewers from Miami saying that you are on point.
Thank you.
She's enjoying listening to you.
Thank you.
We've got to wrap things up for this segment. I want to thank you kindly for taking time. Next week, Tuesday, Mr. Johnson will be here. He's going to give an hour. He will dedicate himself to us for an hour next week, where we'll have a little more time to open up the telephone line a little earlier so that you'll have that one-on-one with him. I want to thank you kindly, sir, for taking time off of your busy schedule to come inform, educate, enlighten us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to you joining us next week.
And I'm looking forward to that as well.
Great.
Again, I love the ambience.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
God bless you. Be
Thank
safe.
you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you
and
so
again,
much.
sincere thanks to the management and staff of the healthiest corner on earth. They are located 92 East Drive, Charfleur. Telephone 7363962 2785102. Those numbers again, 7363962 2785102. Let's go to these messages. When I return, I'm going to be speaking to the Chief Medical Officer of the Community Hospital of the Seventh-day Adventist. Stay with us.
A unique place to visit for all Mother's Day shopping. The Mid-Center Mall Flea Market at the air-conditioned dome is now open until May 30th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Big bargains, local and international exhibitors, safe and secured parking. Air-conditioned dome Mid-Center Mall Flea Market opens 7 days a week until May 30th.
We've got great news! New containers just arrived. Fab India Expo is now extended until May 30th. Shop for Mother's Day and Indian Arrival Day. Be sure to check our Indian food court and arcade. We've got a wide range of antique, modern, Italian and Malaysian furniture available. You can also check us out for fashionable Bollywood style garments. All at Fab India Expo, opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Super quality supermarket, best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Shogunas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket. Tile Expression Limited, the #1 leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety of porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Spain, Italy, Brazil, India and China. Tile Expression Limited, conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunapir. Telephone 693-0015 or 223-TILE.
Before you choose a life of crime, know that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are fed up of you. More than 22,000 have already provided anonymous tips to Crime Stoppers, leading to countless arrests and convictions. You will never know who they are, but with Crime Stoppers' anonymous tipster system, everyone will soon know you. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 800 TIPS today.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. Joining us this morning for a very brief time, and I just told her we need a little more time with her, is Dr. Damaris Mellisa Baptiste. She is the Chief Medical Officer at the Community Hospital of the Seventh-day Adventist. Let me say good morning and a warm welcome.
Good morning.
She's originally from St. Vincent. She's here in Trinidad. She's just taken up her post.
Yes, I started at Community Hospital March the 1st.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your experience in Trinidad.
It has been very rewarding so far. It's a pleasure to be able to serve at the community hospital. I see it as an opportunity to give back.
Yeah.
In my journeys, in my medical journey so far, I have, lived a lot of places, and so relocating to Trinidad now is just an opportunity for me to minister. I see it as a ministry.
Very nice.
Because the passion that I have for medicine, and in particular women, is really about empowerment and education. So that's why I'm very pleased to have this opportunity,
You're more than welcome.
be able to share as well.
And I can assure you, when I know that you're on your way out of Trinidad, we're very fortunate to have you today. That's why our time is quite limited. But when you return, we're going to be spending a little more time with you.
Sure, my pleasure.
Because I think women's health is important.
Absolutely.
I think as women, educating ourselves, it's a never ending. It's something that we should always be able to take responsibility as women to take care of our health.
And I agree with that 100%. You are the CEO of your own body.
I like that you've said that. You're the CEO of your own body.
Yeah, so the responsibility is on you to know your own body.
Yeah.
So that when something is wrong, you
Yeah.
actually recognize it and seek help as needed.
Immediately.
Immediately, exactly.
Immediately. A lot of people procrastinate. They see signs and they're in pain or they're having problems, and we are going to quickly talk to us about abnormal uterine bleed.
Yes.
And could you, and I just want to elaborate on the point that we should not allow whatever symptoms we're facing or problems we're facing, the challenges when it comes to our health, allow it to go into a week and then a month and then years, and then you want to fix it. Nip it in the bud, get to the source, do research, get to the source, get to the root, and get rid of it, and live a happier life.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's key. So in terms of abnormal uterine bleed, it's very common. It's a condition that affects women in their reproductive years. So you're talking about teenagers from the point of puberty all the way down to menopausal years. And the term is different if you have experienced menopause and you're having abnormal bleeding. We usually term that post-menopausal bleeding. So abnormal bleeding in women, it's something that is very common, and as a gynecologist, because I'm also an obstetrician, gynecologist, and a gynecology oncologist, is something that we see possibly 1 in every 2 patients that present to a gynecologist may have.
Is it that serious,
yes,
Doc?
may have complaints.
So in terms of young girls, teenagers, excessive bleeding, I've heard of young girls bleeding for months.
Yeah.
Months upon months.
So to understand the concept of abnormal uterine bleed, we first have to be familiar with what is normal. And when we talk about a normal bleed or a normal uterine or vaginal bleed, it's pretty much we're having a conversation about your menstrual cycle.
Right.
Because we consider that normal.
Right.
And in terms of knowing what is your normal, individuals should be aware that they should understand that your menstrual cycle ought to be roughly between 28 and 36 days. So you should have a regular cycle. It should fall within that time. You should be able to speak about the duration of your bleed. So anything that is over 8 days of bleeding is considered abnormal. And also you should be able to understand that your bleeding should have some amount of quantity or volume.
Right.
So anything that is over 80 mils of bleeding is considered abnormal.
Now, for the benefit of those who do not understand what is 80 mils, how do we know? Because there are lots of women who bleed, but they also have a lot of clotting.
And they think that is their normal, or they think this is normal.
Right.
Everybody gets clots.
Right.
So to put it in context, 30 mils would be considered about 2 tablespoons. So 1 tablespoon is actually around 15 mils. So if we're talking about your whole menstrual cycle, and let's say you have an average of 5 to 7 days of bleeding, you shouldn't have more than about 6 tablespoons of blood.
Okay.
Or let's think about a 250 mils box drink. Really, it's about quarter of that, a little over quarter.
Okay.
So anything that is over that is considered abnormal. And we could put it in the context of the pads that you wear.
Right.
So if you are changing more than 3 pads that is fully saturated in a day, then you should seek some sort of medical or gynecological intervention.
So women, I'm talking about particularly now mothers, grandmothers, aunties, nieces, you know, teenagers. If you, or mothers, if your daughters are saying X, Y, Z, then you know something is wrong. You identify something is not right. Please get help. What can the hospital of the Seventh-day, the community Seventh-day Adventists, I know that you are on a campaign with regards to women health.
Yes.
So how can women now know that they've got a program there to identify to help women in such situations?
All right. So women are really the backbone of our nation. There is no male without a woman. We all came from a woman.
They are the prime ministers of your home.
Absolutely. So therefore, it is in the interest of every male to also want to take care of the women in their lives.
Correct.
And if you would allow me, abnormal uterine bleeding, the causes of it are widespread. So we can have a conversation about the structural causes and the non-structural causes. And just briefly, just to name some of the reasons why people may have abnormal uterine bleeding, it would be issues such as endometrial polyps, and that's an overgrowth of tissue that lines the lining of the womb in a female. Then you have issues such as adenomyosis and endometriosis. Then you have uterine fibroids, which a lot of individuals have. There's a genetic composition to it. In terms of our Caribbean women, almost 1 in 5 women will have uterine fibroids. And then there's malignancies as well. Those constitute the structural reasons of having abnormal uterine bleed. Then the non-structural reasons would be things like a bleeding disorder, like a coagulopathy. Then you have some certain medications that could cause it. Then we have ovulatory dysfunctions or hormonal imbalances, such as polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Correct.
So all these issues can combine to cause abnormal uterine bleeding. So
would this lead up then to infertility?
Yes, some of these issues can contribute to in fact, most individuals that present with abnormal uterine bleeding would also complain that they've been trying to get pregnant for a certain amount of time.
I would love to continue this conversation with you because of our time constraints. We've got to wrap things up at this time. But an open invitation, and I see the need now for constructive conversation designed for women with such problems and other problems we face as women. And I like to always repeat myself by saying prevention is better than cure. And we need to always get to the root of the problem in order to solve it, so that we could be healthy and happier women.
And in terms of what community can do, that was the question you just asked me.
But we're certainly going to continue our conversation on another day and time. But I want to thank you. I know that you're flying out. I want to wish you a safe journey.
Thank you very much.
You accommodated us, and I mean, I'm happy that you've made the time, a little introduction. But the best is always yet to come.
Of course.
And we look forward to you joining us very soon.
Thank you very
again.
much for having me.
God bless you. A safe journey. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
So this is where we've got to wrap things up at this time. I want to remind you to respect the law of the land, that with God all things are possible. I also want to remind mothers to pay attention to your daughters, and when they're having their health concerns, have a constructive conversation and get help earlier o'clock. All right. Thank you so much for choosing us. Have yourselves a blessed, safe and beautiful day. Stay safe, stay happy. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Do continue to stay with us on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, programming with you in mind.